So as everyone's probably noticed, it's been a few weeks since I've updated for you. It's taken me a while to get around to this video. Work's been very busy schedule-wise. Had a few, like a 9-day stint in there, among other things. But the biggest issue is that I had to upgrade cameras. So I'm gonna be telling you a little bit of the story of that just here in a second. But the short of it is my trustworthy 4-year-old A7 II bit the dust. So, rough times. So, I'm happy to announce I am now the proud owner of a Sony A7 III. Absolutely wonderful camera, and I'm loving it so far. But I'm going to let the next little part of the story tell the story. Where is Anna? There's Anna. I am out with the dogs today, and we are out paddling on McCrae Lake, which is just north of, it's about 20 minutes north of Wabashine. So it's just up the 400/Highway 69, depending on how old you are and which one you remember better. But yeah, it's a beautiful day out here. It's very humid. It's quite warm. Today is one of my few days off. Being back at work full time means there's not much free time anymore. So I don't actually know yet if I have a photo for today as of when I'm saying this right now. But I have been out just having a nice relaxing day, or at least attempting to. It's been a rather stressful day so far. But we're working on that. We're working on it. Aren't we, Anna? Yeah, we're working on it. So anyway, she lifts her head up and pushes me around. Anyway, so yeah, today is a nice day. I'm not really sure yet what I'm going to photograph. I've seen some wildlife. I photographed here before at the, you'll remember from the original Scouting is Good video. I photographed the bridge, the trestle bridge over the waterfall. And I was quite happy with that video, and that was actually my most popular video to date, I think. I'm going to see what I find here, because I saw some good wildlife earlier. I might see if it's kind of back in the same area and photograph it on my way back out. Because unfortunately, I'm just about out of time before I have to head back. So I should probably get moving, because there are thunderstorms coming within the hour, most likely. So I'm going to start paddling. One thing I have to note, and it may determine whether or not I have a photo in today's video, my camera is dying. It is most likely going to go to the great camera heaven in the sky within the next 2 weeks. I went to turn it on after I hadn't used it in 4 or 5 days. It had been in my bag at home, and the camera was on the fritz. Half the buttons on the back of the camera were either not working or would function as a different button. Not ideal at all. So yeah, camera upgrade was not in this year's plan whatsoever. Like I had dreamed about doing camera upgrade last year or this year, but financially I knew it just wasn't in the cards. And now I think it's going to have to be, unfortunately. It's not looking good. So we're going to see what happens. But yes, I am going to be looking into that. I have to send it away and see if it can even be repaired. And barring that, it's going to get replaced. So now you've been caught up on the story of what happened with the camera, as well as my misadventures, and I had planned on sort of posting that video 2 weeks ago, but there wasn't really much going on to it. There wasn't much content. As you can tell, there were some photos, but there wasn't much video. I wanted to kind of try and make it worth the wait for you. So in the meantime, I have been away. I was camping in Killarney last weekend. I have to say, the best part of the trip, it started out as being the worst day. The weather was just horrible. Rain, wind, waves of rain just rushing down the valley. But we lucked out. All the rain showers.
It lies. It lies.
You heard her. Heavy rain showers everywhere. We packed up at noon and we went for our hike. So we had to paddle to the portage and hike roughly 10 kilometers each way to go to Silver Peak. And Silver Peak is the highest point in the park at around 500 meters, about 1,700 feet high. And so we had to hike up onto one of the ridges, along the ridge line, down the valley, and up into the next, onto the next ridge, and then up the peak itself. And I really lucked out because there was this one spot on the first ridge where I had looked back towards David Lake, and I was like, oh, this is an amazing photo. And I hear Shauna yell from the other side of the ridge line that we're standing on, and she goes, I think you're going to like this view even better. And my God, was she right. And you were so right. The ridge on the other side was just amazing. We're looking down into Boundary Lake, which is definitely on my bucket list to camp on next time we go, because the lake is almost an S or a C shape, and the campsite's way at the far end. There's only one campsite in the entire lake, so you have the entire lake to yourself. And it was definitely my favorite photo, I think, from the entire trip so far, or one of my favorite photos. Not to say the view from the top of Silver Peak wasn't fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. I just found that it didn't have the same feeling to it. Part of that is being that the clouds had sort of shifted. The weather pattern had moved a little bit, and so it was a different kind of beauty, a different kind of light. So I did get some nice photos from there, but I think that this photo from the ridge was still my favorite. And you're going to see that at the end here. But yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic weekend. Beautiful weather other than the rain. And then on the Sunday when we packed out, we got out relatively early, not as early as we planned, but relatively early still, and we hiked the Crack, which is one of the other beautiful hikes. And in my opinion, still one of my favorite views in the entire park is the view from the top of the Crack looking across Killarney and OSA Lake. So absolutely beautiful weekend. The new camera held up like a champ. And then the final photo that you're going to see in today's video was shot on Monday. Some people aren't even aware that it's happening right now, but comet Neowise is visible in the northern sky, and it has shifted from morning pre-dawn to evening post-sunset. But right now in the northern sky, it is visible to the naked eye. To the camera, it's even better. And so I went to Tiny Martian, and I did get a photo of that, and it was fantastic. I'm so glad that I got a chance to photograph it, and yeah, that has been the last month for me. That's been kind of what's been occupying me. Work, dying camera, buying new camera, camping. That has been the last 4 weeks for me, so I apologize for not getting a video out to you guys sooner. That's the story, folks. Hope you've all been keeping well, and look forward to showing you the next video in a couple weeks. Bye for now.